Today I want to talk about productivity. It's a buzzword. And if you want to be productive, you have to give up the fight. So that's the lens we need to look at it from. So I'm calling it productivity means giving up the fight. So you got to give up something in order to be productive. But once you do, it opens a timeless sensation in you, which is counterintuitive for a lot of people because it's dialing back time, making time out of thin air just by perceiving yourself to be something quite different. So what we need to give up is the fight. So we'll talk about that and how that makes you more productive in very surprising ways. So I hope you'll stick around. Likely, if you're not very productive and you're lamenting that, you live in a universe that's running out. And this is what we learned from our moms or our teachers who said we had to do something at a certain time, and if we didn't, they would start counting down like 5, 4, 3. And so fear became a motivating factor to be productive, like clean up your room. And so we live with this sensation of watch tapping, clock watching, arms folded, foot tapping. That kind of posture, which leads to what I call futile human behavior, which is what we would call busyness, right? This, in psychological terms, is called the extinction burst. And some examples of that would include frantically tapping on an elevator button because it won't move. Maybe if you keep pushing it a bunch of times, it'll finally listen to your demands, you see. Or kicking a vending machine that won't dispense the Twix and it gets hung up. So you start kicking and pounding it, reaching underneath it, pushing the button a bunch of times, hitting the coin slot return thing, you know what I mean? This is a conditioned response. Pigeons can do this if they learn how to push a button with their beak and some food comes out. If the experimenter takes the food away, the pigeon will literally peck its beak off in the extinction burst. It's usually a dip where your frenetic behaviors are no longer rewarded. So you might consider your individual effort just like that. That's what most human beings consider productive. Tapping your pencil on a page, trying to write a book. Right? Well, some of my favorite are huffing and puffing. Right? In the doctor's office. It's just, all it is a lot of mounting tension that feels like you're doing something. And we see the examples of this all the time. Honking your horn at traffic that won't budge. That feels productive, doesn't it? But productivity, in the best sense of the word, is learning how to get out of your own way. And learning the flow of kairos time, which in kairos in Greek means opportune. To tune to a flow that probably is too slow for your ego, right? People who want to be productive want what's called a quick fix, an immediate answer. Particularly if things in their life mount up like a calamity of some kind. They have no understanding of how to deal with it in the right way. That's because the ego is much too active in a person like that. And so you see this kind of behavior on the road all the time. People weaving in and out of traffic and honking and going on the shoulder and going around. And 20 minutes later, you meet them in the same place at the same red light, right? You know? So kairos time is this sort of glacial, eternal flow that is accessible through meditation. And then you have a frenetic pace. So you've got this glacial flow and a frenetic pace on top of it. And real productivity can never, ever come from a person who is fighting for their life to get ahead, to meet the demands of a looming deadline, that kind of shit, just to... And a video like this is torture to a person who wants a 5-minute fix because I talk too slow. But I'm trying to demonstrate kairos time. Like, kairos time would be like, what's the hurry, bub? And kairos time gets there faster than this frenetic pace, and it gets there easier. And yeah, maybe you got a blockage of some kind. You got a jam, a mounting pile of bills, a health condition that won't budge, a situation that won't flow, some kind of blockage or challenge or obstacle. And a lot of what people do to get rid of so-called obstacles are watch tapping, leg fidgeting, huffing and puffing, stewing and complaining, horn honking and elevator button pushing, the extinction burst. And none of it works to the person who's in tune with kairos time. If you're in kairos time, you wait at the intersection until you feel at such time it's opportune to proceed. Not when the buddy behind you is blowing his horn. And so, person who is sort of in tune with that kairos time does not feel rushed when someone tailgates them. Does not feel provoked when someone insults them. Does not feel this urgent need when they get a bill that says, pay this now. Kairos time can take care of it in its own time. And meditation gets you there. See, that frenetic thing has to die in you. The fight has to die in you before you feel the flow of time, Father time, divine time, the right time. And that's what opportune means. You will take care of it. You will take care of it in surprising and mysterious ways. But you're not going to take care of it with foot tapping, leg fidgeting, elevator pushing, vending machine torture, and horn honking. That's not productivity. Productivity might be, while stuck in traffic, we're going to listen to an audiobook. While being blocked from being able to pass through and have your favorite meal, we're going to experiment with other ingredients. While we are unable to take care of this bigger issue, we're going to focus on something that we can move forward on. See, Kairos time is always flowing, and you will always know what you can do, whilst maybe some other issue is being blocked. The ego loves to make rash decisions. It loves to overlook. And if you begin to meditate, you realize something. It helps you respond properly. See, a lot of people have a meditation practice or a spiritual practice after there's a big catastrophe or during a big catastrophe. I remember in 2001, after 9/11, when I was an active church organist, everybody suddenly came to church. The pews were full on Sunday after 9/11. That's when people decide to have a spiritual practice, when the shit hits the fan. And then circumstances get hunky-dory and status quo again, and they leave the church. We don't need that anymore. But this is the thing that meditation is to be used for when things are relatively normal. That's when you die to this egoic, frenetic pace. Because meditation is a kind of surrender. You sit there in the silence, in the coffin, in the dark, and the mind goes blank. Kairos time. The body goes, starts to shut down. And you get into the very threshold of existence itself, the breath. And you find this euphoric peace, which creates space in you. It creates a kind of it's like taking this knob, which is dialed all the way to frenetic. And that's Kairos time. Tick. Tock. Tick. Tock. And the time that the ego lives in is tick, 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 tick. And that's not productivity. And when you get into that lower frequency of this effervescent peace comes in, the spaciousness comes in, and it builds up over time, right? You're not going to do this in one meditation session. Oh, I'm going to meditate. And so people are just as anxious as they were when they started. But over time, as you develop a practice of spirituality, when things are safe, in a safe, quiet space, when the shit hits the fan, you can go back to that quiet space and find that peace again and find that guidance knowing when to respond to a problem and exactly what to do in times of crisis. It helps you become a first responder because you have developed a way of communicating with yourself which says you will respond to it at the right time. And if you're always in that state of meditation, the ego leaves you alone. And that's what giving up the fight means. The mind has a grip on a lot of people. And it falsely believes that fear is reasonable. Now listen up here. Fear is just as unreasonable as any other condition. Why anything exists is completely mysterious. Because if we could pinpoint the reason for fear, we would try to eradicate it. But what if you're afraid of the government? Are you going to eradicate the government? You see? What if you're afraid of being poor? What are you going to do? Go out and rob a bank? You see? These circumstances have to, in meditation, this is what happens. I'm going to show you an illustration. With enough practice, people are linked to their circumstance, just like this. With enough practice, enough meditation, Kairos time slows, sense of time slows down in you. There's enough space in you, and this is what happens. Circumstance and individual drift apart. And the ego floats into the oceanic wonder. And it doesn't mean you're not going to take care of your bills and you're not going to take care of your appointments. It's just that you're not going to weave in and out of traffic and honk your horn and tap your pencil and tap your watch and believe in a universe that runs out. And when you stop believing in a universe that runs out, amazing ideas bubble up in that space. Books, projects, dreams, big dreams. And so that deeper I wants the exact same thing as the personal I. But it doesn't have to fight for them. The root, R-O-O-T, knows the direct root. R-O-U-T-E. R-O-U-T-E, yeah. So the direct root, R-O-O-T, knows the direct root, R-O-U-T-E. And so the ego steps aside, and so a deeper flow through silence and stillness. It might not get things done on this personal I's timetable, but like the tortoise and the hare, the tortoise gets there before the hare. While the hare is sleeping, the tortoise gets there in that story. So while the personal I, is kind of unaware, the deeper I has already taken care of it. Even though on the surface it looks late, it looks like a calamity, it looks like it's never going to happen. It's just that personal I has to stop all that futility, pencil thumping, eyebrow furling, hemming and hawing and stimming and stewing, and trust. And you want to get to that point where, if you've ever caught a fish, it thrashes and flops and everything. And then it settles down and accepts its death. And you're the floppy fish, a thrashing thing. And before a fish dies, which will ultimately become your dinner, and it's fine, the gills move, it's trying to breathe, it's still there, but it's given up the fight. And that's where productivity begins. And there's no more thrashing, but just an awareness of the breath. And yeah, you'll be in the world, and you'll be jammed and come up against obstacles and mounting this and mounting and looming that. But Kairos time gets there if you align with it. If you trust that when the opportune time is there, you will respond easily, and that your desire is the desire of your desire. Your desire as the personal I has a desire of the deeper I, and they are aligned. And all that stewing and frenetic activity is not necessary. You're now in Kairos time, often known as God's time, whatever you want to call it. And there's no fight down there in the meditation chambers, in the sequestered abiding peace of your heart. Don't wait until a disaster to start a spiritual practice. Learn to slip into that intimacy of existence now, when things are hunky-dory. And you'll find a new way of being productive. It feels slower, but it increases the volume and the quality of what you're doing. The ego thinks this stuff is wasting time. I think it's savoring time, expanding time, and deepening meaning. My name is Ryan. I hope you enjoyed these insights. Please check out my blog, mymorningmotivator.com, or one of my books on Amazon. Thanks.